Good morning, comrades, and welcome to this Q&A. First of all, I want to thank all of you for the amazing questions that you've asked and also for the amazing, wonderful support and the kind words I've received from you the first time I've asked you to ask a question when I asked you, what do you want me to film? And I've received lots of support, and everyone actually ignored the Q&A question, so there had to come a separate video. But so many thanks for everything, and also thank you for helping me reach 90,000 subscribers. Yes, so hopefully in about a month or maybe a bit more, we're gonna hit the magical number of 100K, and it's gonna require a nice celebration. I have something planned already, but bear with me until that moment. So let's get the Q&A started. Majority of questions, multiple of them, had to do something whether I could make a general video when I would introduce Apex members. Guess what? Because a lot of you wanted to, and also because there are a lot of Apex members, new team members, old team members, I think it should be better a video of its own. So tomorrow there's going to be a video where I introduce or they introduce themselves, and you get to know everyone and what they do, and you could also follow them on social media, etc. So that's for then. But however, first of all, I also said that the best height rank question would win the hood from the M4 that I have crashed last year. Yeah, and that question was by Fafa, which is the same like if I would get to meet the crew video. He had 95 upvotes, which was the highest of the video. So if I hope you're like in Germany and neighborhood, you can pick up the hood, because it's going to be like kind of difficult to ship it to you, but there is that. Now, moving on to the next one by Lucy Pavel, or Lucy Powell, I don't know how you spell it in the right way. Q&A, not really a question, more of a curiosity. What happened with you and Ring Garage? Sorry you promised but never finished the story. Well, the thing is, at some point you got to ask yourself, are you mature? And do you want to stay in that particular shithole and be still reminded of that, or do you want to move on? And do you want to cause even more shit hitting the fan, etc. At some point I realized the trade-off to dedicate them even more attention is not going to be worth it, because honestly, all the people that are on my channel, they support me regardless. They support the whole thing. They all understand that it was kind of more or less bad thing that happened. They all make jokes. So if I'm going to make a video regarding to you, it's not going to influence any of you guys. I'm not going to reach any other audience, and etc. But however, if someone really wants to know what happened, they're more than welcome to come here, and I'm going to tell them in person what has happened, etc. Moving on to the next question by Chocolate Box. How did you and Robert meet? And how did the Apex team come together? Well, the funny thing is, going back to the previous question, what's up with me and Ring Garage? We met at Ring Garage because he sent a DM to...
You need to make an instruction that I asked him.
That's great.
Thanks.
Okay, well, Robert sent me a DM asking if we would offer car storage back at that other place, because he had some cars that he would like to store over there, because he didn't have this place back then, and he was and still is living like 2 hours away from the Nürburg. So he came by, we started talking, etc. and then the ball started rolling. And that's kind of like a, I don't know, long story short, pretty much very short. I think I made a video where I announced the creation of Apex. Maybe I explained it a bit there in short. And yeah, as you could have heard, I need to go now, and a small break of, I don't know, my editor will probably insert something in here while I go and do some instruction up, and then we'll be back. Okay, and welcome back to this Q&A. Guess what? They closed the track in front of us, so it was kind of a waste of time. But guess what? This Q&A is not a waste of time. So moving on to the next question by Spada Motze. What is the percentage of Apex customers that have never before seen or read about Apex in social media? Let's divide our customers into 3 groups. First of all, we have car rentals. 2, we have taxis. And 3, we have hotel. Regarding car rentals, I would say 90% of people still come from the vlogs. Pretty much everyone knows about it. Then we have 10% of walk-ins, and out of who just like casually walk by here, they see a rental car company like, hey, do you have a car we want to rent? And they rent a car. And out of those 10%, sometimes between, I would say 4% or something, or half of them, they say like, hey, you look familiar. Haven't I seen you somewhere, like YouTube or something? Like, yeah, oh yeah, okay, cool. So they see me somewhere because of some viral video, whether it's on my channel or on Shmi's channel or whoever's, and they kind of recognize me. So social media presence and actually, well, the whole marketing and thing regarding car rental is massive. Then we have hotel. And hotel, I would say, is completely opposite because we are strong present on booking.com, for example, and there people just like go, they look what you can rent in Nürburg as a hotel stay, and we have a pretty big score, I believe, it's between 9.4 and 9.6. I don't remember what it is now. It's always like different shades between like good and a bit less reviews. So there, 90% of them have actually pretty much, well, maybe 80% have never heard of Apex. They just randomly book, they come here, enjoy their stay, and done. Then the other small parts, they do and come and stay here. Then we have taxi customers, for example. Well, this is not really a taxi, but you know what I mean. There, I would say it's close to probably like good 40% of the customers at this point are actually, or maybe even more, yeah, between 40 and 50% are actually people that know about us, know about the YouTube channel, and because they've seen the cars and they've seen what we do, they come and book. And obviously, in the other half is probably who are just walk-ins, who are here at the car park, the track's closed, they come to the taxi car park, oh, that's awesome, the doors go up of the McLaren, oh, poor McLaren. That's a wide body M4. Can we do something? Yeah, you can jump for a taxi up. Okay, let's do it. Or you jump with 3 people in the M3, and that's like even cheaper than if you would have to drive a lap yourself. So it's very different. But yeah, social media is definitely a big game changer, and especially last year, if you combine the whole operation. Obviously, we just started last year, and the main thing were the vlogs. I would say 90% of all customers were from the vlogs or social media. But now you can like differentiate the 3 types of businesses that we do, and you can see the clear difference between them. So moving on to the next question by Luis Romero Nunez. Knowing Robert's path over buying cars at the Nürburgring, how long until he gets the street legal Ferrari 458 challenge? Well, the thing is, he was talking about earlier this year about getting the 488 challenge and making that street legal, or the Huracan Performante maybe street legal, the Super Trofeo, but it didn't happen. So I don't think he will, and especially since he has Pista on order, which will arrive, I believe, around November together with the 600 LT. I don't think the 458 challenge car is kind of like on his interesting list. So it would be nice to do like a review on that car, however, nevertheless, but realistically speaking, I know it's probably more like a joke question, but there is always a bit of a seriousness within every joke, so I don't think it's going to happen. Martin Chapman, good video. Martin, it's not a question. I know it's a good video, but it's not a question, so maybe you can put a question mark behind it. Then actually a lot of questions from multiple people. If we would introduce people, again, the general introduction of team members, or if I would have them as a co-host for the next summit, for example, Tim, Tom, or Moritz. This is something that we would definitely do at some point, maybe soon, very soon, but we need to find time for it. But yeah, very good input and idea. We will do it. Very good question from G.Banta. Is it hard to live on the Nürburgring in general? How much does the basic necessities cost, and how do you have any plans for a project car in the future? So let's separate it, like obviously do it in 2 parts. So regarding living at the Nürburgring, last winter I messed up because I wanted to make a video about how to get here, how to get a job, which companies offer a job, and how to settle here, etc., etc. That video never came. But again, that happened pretty often with other videos, like media license that we still have to shoot. Hopefully next week, I promise it. But it's very busy. We're at the height of the season. So, but long story short, how difficult is it? It depends what you find difficult, because the thing is, are you from a big city? Are you missing like the nightlife? You're not going to find it here. Then it's going to be a big issue. You cannot get any shopping, so you have to trade it in. If you come into here you think like, oh, I want to drive the track and enjoy the track, well, joke's on you, because that's never going to happen. Because even us who are within the rental car business, you know for yourself from the videos, I have barely done any laps this year. I can count them, well, as of now, I can count them on 2 hands, but probably a month ago on 1 hand only for like the laps that I did for my own pleasure, that I would just like said, okay, I can do a lap now because I don't have anything to do or I can afford to do a lap in terms of time. Yeah, well, my dear cameraman slash editor, David, has done 2 laps so far in his 1.5 month stay. So percentage-wise, he's done more than me or Diana or anyone. I think Diana did like probably 2 laps this year as well. So it's very difficult because if you come here and you don't have like your own business and you really need to work in general, then it's very difficult. You will not be able to do any laps. So that's there is that. Financial-wise, I would say because also the main point, the average wage at the Nürburgring is pretty low because you get minimum wage unless you're some kind of specialist in terms of like you're a super engineer or you're like a very good instructor or etc. But if you come here and say, hey, I want to be a mechanic, well, you're just going to get the minimum wage, which is roughly, I believe, 1,340 euros here in Germany per month. And then you need to pay for your hotel slash room, for your room or house, which is depending on the size and the place, whether it's in Nürburg or in Adenau or more further away, it's between, I would say, 350 to like 600 or even above euros per month. It depends what you want and what you're willing to pay, and it's best obviously to come here with a partner, whether it's a girlfriend or boyfriend, or maybe like a roommate that you can share it, because that will keep costs, well, the fixed cost per month limited. But yeah, other than that, it's the question what you want to do here at the track, what you're coming here for, because everything else is subjective. A lot of people love here the nature, love the track, even love that they don't care that they don't get to drive it. It's something you need to answer for yourself. But again, during next winter, I promise, I'm gonna make a video regarding how to find a job. Basically, if there's a will, there's a way. If you want to be a mechanic, you can find all the racing teams. You just go to VLN page, you find who's participating, you spam them all like, hey, I want to work for you. In serious notes, all the racing teams start looking for a mechanic around February for next season, because a lot of people switch jobs, they leave. So if you want to be a mechanic, you just go to a racing team. But actually, in general, all the job openings become available between December until February. And after that, the season starts and like everything shrinks. So that's in general. If you have any additional questions, let me know, because I will definitely more than happy to answer them in the next video. Okay, let's do a couple of more, because I hear the taxis are arriving back from TF Day. The video has been pretty long, and we will do a second Q&A for next time already. So first question, where are you in the process of building a VLN team right now? Well, first of all, we need to have a VLN permit. This means we must drive 3 RCN races and finish. Before that, you should have had so-called results. So you must have had you must finish within like top 65%. But as of this year, you just need to drive and finish. We have 3 RCNs left this year. The problem is Robert is not going to be here for the first of the 3 races. This means we will have to skip, and we're going to drive 2 of them. I could say like, hey guys, I'm gonna go somewhere else and drive with someone else just to get it and get my VLN permit in time, but I just want to stick with the team. So we're gonna drive 2 RCN races this year, next year 1 RCN race, and after that we're gonna get our permit and we'll be able to drive the VLN race, meaning we can start VLN. We have the car, we have a team. This is something we will have to announce soon, but trust me, within a month you will have all the details. Are going to be awesome and exciting. But the VLN races are scheduled for next year earliest, because we need the permit. We need to have the qualification paper. Have you planned anything for the winter? Netflix and chill. Well, actually, yeah, we need to get some rest, because as of now we're making, Diana has counted, we do between 100 and 120 hours on a week now in the height of the season. So we want to get some sleep. It's going to be probably 1 week sleep marathon, after that 2 weeks gaming marathon, then we're going to have winter holidays like Christmas, etc. And then we're going to start working again, taking all the pre-bookings. Obviously, we're going to do some work in between, but all the rest is going to come then. So I think this is pretty much okay for now. I'm going to do a couple of more questions in the upcoming video. It might be released somewhere next week, but we'll just have a nice buffer. I hope you guys enjoyed, and feel free to ask more questions in this video. Actually, I have plenty of questions already for the next video. So ask me a specific question regarding like the job situation or life at the Nürburgring. What you want to know more specific, so I can dedicate a proper video to that. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in tomorrow's video, which is probably going to be a vlog or an interesting onboard. I don't know, we will see what's on the schedule. No, it's going to be the Meet the Apex team. So see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. And I think let's start with the two people who were the first employees. One of the OGs, actually. Bruno.
That's Bruno.
This is Misha.
So one of the OGs, Tim Morley, living the dream, huh?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Another OG, I would say. Okay, moving on to Cathy then.
Director of sales for
Ice Cold Moritz wants to escape, but apart from Moritz, who is not ice cold enough, are you a getaway driver?
No.